guys, what's up? As you can tell, my angle's a little different in this video. That's because I recently got a new tripod and I'm trying to shoot at a different angle, something that I couldn't do with my previous tripod. So yeah, tell me what you think of this new angle. But anyways, that's not what this new video is going to be about. Today's video is going to be about monologues and monologue auditions and how I struggle with them. As always, we are going to start from the beginning. In the early years of my middle/high school, before it turned into garbage, anyone who wanted to be in the school plays had to audition. Everyone auditioned by singing Happy Birthday because musicals were pretty much all that we did, and of course you need to know how to sing in order to be in a musical. By my sophomore year of high school, when things really started to go downhill, lack of students led to our drama teacher having to cast whoever he could get a hold of, which means auditions were completely out of the question. So from sophomore year to senior year, auditions were completely ditched. Then I started going to college, and that is where I got my first taste of monologue auditions, and that is where I found out they were a thing. So yeah, monologue auditions, never knew about them until college. I'm stupid, end of story. That is mostly why I didn't audition my first semester. Second semester, however, I did audition, but it was a disaster. I had the utter stupidity of using a monologue from one of the garbage quality plays that we wrote in high school, and my acting was below subpar. The second time I did a monologue audition, it wasn't much better. I made the mistake of taking the advice of someone who had absolutely no knowledge and no experience in the industry. They only knew someone in the industry. I will say this though, it taught me the important lesson to listen to actual teachers or coaches or other actors or anyone else who has experience in or knowledge in acting. Not someone who thinks they know a few things just because they only knew someone in the industry. Eventually, as time went on, I learned more of the do's and don'ts of monologues, but I still think I'm pretty subpar at them compared to most other actors. It wasn't until this workshop I did at BroadwayCon this year when a few things clicked in my head on what I had to do to master them. And I am definitely going to put what I learned to heart. Okay, so, now that I've discussed my history with monologues, I'll tell you some specific parts of them that I struggle with. The first thing that I struggle with when it comes to monologues is memorizing them. I just take one look at what I have to memorize and I fall into a panic. Ah! I'm always like, how am I supposed to jam all of this into my head and recite it word for word? Sometimes I'll have one or two or maybe even 3 or 4 parts of a monologue that my brain struggles to hold on to, and no matter how much I study, I can't seem to get it right. Shakespeare monologues are especially hard for me because, as you know, they have to be perfectly memorized. The next thing that I struggle with when it comes to monologues is where I should get them from. I always ponder whether I should buy a bunch of plays and get my monologues for them, or if I should just buy a monologue book and get a monologue from there. I'm only bringing this up because when I auditioned for it a few years ago, they specifically said in the applications that you need to have a monologue memorized, and they said do not get it from a monologue book. We want you to read the whole entire play if you do find a monologue, because there's a chance that we might interrogate you about the character that you're trying to portray and the surrounding circumstances, or predetermined circumstances, whatever those are called, and everything else. But contrary to what they told me, from the aforementioned workshop that I took at BroadwayCon, I learned from there that it's much cheaper to buy a book full of monologues and pick one from there, rather to buy like tens upon tens of plays and waste your money on those. And this just kind of confuses me because I don't know which one I should do. Should I just buy a physical copy of a play and possibly try to look for a monologue there, or should I buy a monologue book and pick a monologue from there? But then again, maybe later on I should get an actual copy of the play that the monologue is from, but then another big question arises, which is, what if I can't find it? Now, going back to what I said about how they were going to interrogate me on the monologue after reciting it, Even if people running auditions didn't say, oh, you have to read the whole play, and they still interrogate you, this is a negative for me. Because I hate being put on the spot. Especially someone like me who has Asperger's and anxiety. I always freeze up, my mind goes blank, I can't think straight, so yeah, there's that. Finally, we come to my biggest struggle. Finding the perfect monologue. I can never ever seem to find a monologue that suits me well. I'll find a monologue that I enjoy doing, but I'll either be too old or too young for this monologue. I just don't suit the character that I'm supposed to be portraying, etc., etc. Then finally, when I do find a monologue with a character that suits me, I don't like any bit of it, and I struggle to find a connection with it. And that leads into struggling with memorization. Maybe it's because I have to really read through them several times to get them to click with me. Or maybe I should look through more books and not online. But yeah, I struggle with that too. So yeah, that was my monologue rant, if I could call it that. I hope you all enjoyed it. Also, if you have any advice that you want to give me about monologues, I really would love and appreciate it. So please put it down in that comment section below. See down there? See? And until next time, guys, see you soon. So yeah. Pardon me.